So I'm Dr. Darren Weissman, and I'm a doctor of holistic medicine, been practicing for the past 18 years. And I started floating in 1986. A dear friend of mine turned me on to sensory deprivation and flotation tanks, and I've been hooked ever since. I used to float on a weekly basis in Chicago at Space-Time Tanks off of Lincoln Avenue. And I remember going in one time, and the gentleman who was running the flotation center was having allergies. And I said, "Would you like to fix those allergies you've got going on?" He said, "I'd love to." And so I did what I did as a holistic practitioner, and allergies fixed. And so he allowed me to float for free, which was great. And so every time I'd come in, I'd give him a session, and he'd allow me to float. And usually people float for an hour. And then when you're done, you hear a little knock, and you get on out. One time I was there, and he just said, "Just float as long as you want. Whenever you come out, you come out." I came out. He goes, "Darren, do you know how long you were floating for?" I said, "How long?" He goes, "Almost 4 hours. You were in the tank for 4 hours." The experience of sensory deprivation flotation tanks, different than where we are right now, where the colors of the trees, the smell of autumn, the feel of the chill of the shift of the seasons is going on. When you are in a flotation tank, this contraption that is literally so brilliant, that is filled with water about 10 inches, and the water is heated up to skin temperature, so you don't really feel the water. It's filled with 800 plus pounds of Epsom salt, so you float. There's no gravity. You've got these earplugs in. You don't hear anything. You close the door behind you. You can't see anything. There is nothing to get in your way. And rather than saying there's nothing to get in your way, there's only your purest spiritual potential to connecting to the moment when you are floating. And so how I've used it in so many ways. And as a creative, passionate person living life, I've used it to enhance sports, water skiing, tennis, working out, dexterity, by getting into my mind, visualizing whatever I was doing in a way that I was able to see it clearly. And once I could see it clearly in the flotation tank, I knew I had it. I've used it to help heal my body. On one level, by floating in the tank where you've got all this Epsom salt, that pulls toxins out of your body. That in and of itself is extraordinary. Let alone when there's no stress and there's no pressure on your joints, because you're literally floating like you're in outer space. The challenges of your muscles that have memory of trauma and drama of life's experiences, they begin to melt away. Decreases inflammation. It really enhances the healing process. But the thing that I truly appreciate the most is in a stressful world that we're in, and it's a stressful world that we're all in. Everyone can relate of the fear and the anxieties that people wake up with and they go to bed with. That when you're floating, your stress level changes. And it changes in a way that I can't really explain to you right now. You have to experience it. It goes beyond explanation. But when you come out of an hour float, first and foremost, 1 hour is like sleeping 8 hours. It resets your circadian rhythm so that your biological clock gets set. But when you come out, everything is different. Everyone that you connect with is different. You're able to move through life. Life is able to move through you in a way that you are destined to be present. It allows you to make that heart connection. It allows you to be in a space with who your real self is. You end up having new realizations, awarenesses of acceptance and compassion that literally grows out of floating. It's amazing. It's amazing. I find it to be one of the most magical and rewarding experiences I've ever discovered. And now, and I'm so grateful, infinite love and gratitude My brother, Dr. Howard Weissman, ended up purchasing a flotation tank, which I'm eternally grateful for, because now I float every week. I go and I work out, and when I'm done working out, I float for an hour, and then I see clients, and it just, every week, it's just such a healing commitment to my life, such a powerful thing that affects every other aspect of my life. Beautiful.